In a secluded courtyard within Chu capital, Emperor Chu leisurely flipped through a tome. His current status in the land of origin was lofty and unassailable, carefree and unbothered. No one dared provoke him. Even certain duties that emperors were obligated to fulfill had been exempted by the primogenitor on his behalf. Emperor Chu now focused his entire mind on comprehending the great Tao of the ultimate realm. Emperor Chu looked up in surprise. A man dressed in black with black hair appeared above the courtyard before descending down. Luo Feng. Emperor Chu rose with a smile. How do you have the time to visit me? He was well aware that his disciples' focus was primarily outside the source world. The two nations' ancestors, Emperor Qing and the others, were the same. They rarely made appearances in the land of origin. Master, Luo Feng greeted with a smile. I visited the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm and managed to gather some resources. I've prepared cultivation treasures for you, Master. You still think of me? Emperor Chu grinned widely, evidently pleased. Luo Feng waved his hand, and next to him appeared an array of cultivation treasures. Each item was meticulously placed with care. The faint energy naturally emanating from the numerous rare artifacts of the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm rendered Emperor Chu slightly dizzy. Yet amidst the dizziness, his thoughts quickened and inspiration began to surface. These are the auxiliary treasures I collected in the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm. Based on Master's life form level, I believe these are the most suitable treasures, 92 types in total. Master can try each one to see which suits you best, Luo Feng explained. I will now send the methods of usage for these auxiliary treasures to Master. Emperor Chu received the communication. Even as the Emperor of Flamewind ancient country, Emperor Chu had only heard of 3 of the 92 rare treasures before, as he had found them too expensive to acquire. Master cultivates the path of destruction. While in the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm, I sought out various inheritances related to it, Luo Feng said. Anything below the Divine Emperor level was cheap. I bought over 100 of them. Master can use them as references. Oh. Emperor Chu listened attentively. And this one? Luo Feng flipped his hand, presenting a book. These are my personal reflections on the path of destruction. Master should read it more often. Currently, what Master needed most was to comprehend the ultimate realm of the path of destruction. The path of destruction written by Luo Feng did not exceed the scope of the ultimate realm of the godly king. However, after witnessing countless fusions of life and destruction transcending the braided cage, Luo Feng's understanding of destruction had grown ever deeper. Looking back, writing a book on the path of destruction was naturally extraordinary. Luo Feng also intended to give Morosa a version spanning up to the early stage of the Divine Emperor level. Though Morosa relied mostly on consuming resources to achieve the ultimate realm, his chances to break through to the Divine Emperor were minuscule. Yet, occasional support might someday lead to a miracle. How much primordial crystal did you spend on all these treasures? Emperor Chu asked as he gazed upon the myriad treasures carefully arranged before him. Not much, not much, Luo Feng replied vaguely. It was merely about 1 million primordial crystals. Given his current standing, it was indeed a trivial amount. Emperor Chu looked at the book Luo Feng had personally written. Of the 92 auxiliary treasures you've given me, I had only heard of 3 before. It's clear these must be incredibly costly. Emperor Chu sighed. And this time you personally wrote it must have taken a long time to complete, didn't it, Luo Feng? Emperor Chu gazed at Luo Feng. You've only been outside the source world for 1,000+ epochs. There's no need to trouble yourself with looking after your master. You should focus entirely on your own cultivation. Though I'd never ventured beyond the source world myself, I've long understood that the outside is fraught with danger and survival is incredibly difficult. In the world beyond the source world, survival depends on one's own grit, competing against the experts of countless realms. I, as your master, live peacefully in the land of origin, but you face extreme dangers out there. Emperor Chu and the other emperors were all well aware of the terror waiting outside the source world. Your cultivation is far more important. Wait until you've truly established yourself before you think of looking after me again. Emperor Chu glanced at the generous gifts, reluctant to accept them. These treasures, go exchange them back for primordial crystals. That won't be necessary. Luo Feng waved it off. Rest assured, Master, I ventured into the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm, which is comparatively less perilous, far safer than the Dark Sacred Realm. In the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm, I'm already among the top tier. There are but a few stronger than me. Don't deceive your master. Emperor Chu shook his head. We emperors of the imperial clan are destined to venture beyond the source world. Regarding the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm, I have some shallow knowledge, even as recorded by the primogenitor. The primogenitor himself admitted that he wouldn't dare claim to be among the top tier there. There are plenty stronger than him, Luo Feng pondered. In Yulan City alone, there were dozens stronger than the Tenacians' ancestors. Across the 35 cities of the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm, there must be thousands stronger. Indeed, there are many in the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm stronger than the Tenacians' ancestors, Luo Feng acknowledged before meeting his master's gaze. But compared to me, there truly aren't many, Emperor Chu scrutinized Luo Feng. Are you saying you're stronger than the Tenacians' ancestors? Yes, considerably stronger, Luo Feng replied without hesitation. Stronger by a level. Emperor Chu was stunned. A full level? I've recently broken through. Luo Feng smiled faintly. Master is the first to know aside from myself. Emperor Chu's heart churned in monumental waves. How long had the Tenacians' ancestors spent cultivating? They had endured countless reincarnation eras of the land of origin, even ventured into the dark sacred realm. His own disciple, Luo Feng, had spent how much time in the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm? A mere 1,000+ epochs, and yet he had surpassed the Tenacians' ancestors by a full level. It was horrifying. Master, can you accept these gifts now? Luo Feng asked. I'll take them, Emperor Chu replied, finally snapping out of his shock. He reminded, the more dazzling your talents, the more you must remain steady. Don't worry, Master, Luo Feng said. Sit down quickly. Emperor Chu waved his hand to collect the treasures and said, tell me more about the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm. My understanding of it largely comes from the imperial clan's records. Even Emperor Qing refuses to share much detail with me. All right, I'll give you a thorough rundown, Luo Feng agreed, smiling as he poured wine for his master and himself before sitting down to chat. They talked for a long time before Luo Feng bid farewell. Remaining in the courtyard, Emperor Chu felt an emotional sigh escape him. Back when I took Luo Feng as my disciple, I thought to nurture him well, believing his exceptional talent might allow him to accompany me in ventures beyond the source world. He reflected, who would have imagined that he's already surpassed the Tenacians' ancestors by a full level? My disciple, Luo Feng. Emperor Chu didn't know what to say. His disciple's talent was utterly extraordinary, a meteoric rise. Even the trio of Emperor Yan, Emperor Shi, and Emperor Wu had suffered to deaths and one escape because they slightly blocked his path. Emperor Shi and Emperor Wu were ultimately slain by the flame-wind primogenitor. The primogenitor truly has greater foresight than me. Emperor Chu felt mixed emotions. I wonder just how far my disciple will go. Luo Feng also paid a visit to Mountain Sitting Guest. Mountain Sitting Guest, whose strength was much inferior to Emperor Chu's, received gifts Luo Feng had prepared with care, though they amounted to only about 10,000 primordial crystals in total. His physical form couldn't endure excessively expensive treasures. Master, these are tomes I acquired in the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm most suited for your world lineage. There are also dozens of artifact refining scriptures among them. Luo Feng presented the tomes as gifts to his master. In the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm, scriptures below the Divine Emperor level were exceedingly cheap. In Yulan City alone, where millions of cultivators resided, most of whom stood at the level of ultimate realm life forms, many were content selling scriptures for 100 or 200 primordial crystals. Very good. Mountain Sitting Guest smiled approvingly at the gifts. Luo Feng's feelings for Mountain Sitting Guest far surpassed those for Emperor Chu. Without Mountain Sitting Guest, there would be no Earth-Human clan. The Star Tower, the 9-volume manual, the Liyuan technique all were brought to him by his master, Mountain Sitting Guest. Luo Feng had always held deep gratitude. Luo Feng, you know your master's talent and comprehension. In terms of great Tao insight, I've yet to reach the second realm of the Godly King. Mountain Sitting Guest chuckled. You don't have to expend excessive energy on me. Having achieved vengeance and now enjoying peaceful days, your master is already very content, Mountain Sitting Guest added. Luo Feng could sense the profound serenity and dispassion in his master. Understanding Mountain Sitting Guest's past, Luo Feng realized his greatest concerns, his most cherished loved ones, had perished long ago. Decades of life afterward had been driven solely by the pursuit of vengeance. With Luo Feng's assistance, vengeance had been fulfilled, and his master's desires ultimately quieted. Cultivation. His master had little ambition to pursue it further. "Master, these inheritances can serve as entertainment if nothing else," Luo Feng said. "Very well. I'll take my time exploring these gifts," Mountain's sitting guest replied with a smile. "Perhaps I might advance further and reach the second realm of the godly king." Luo Feng didn't linger long with Mountain's sitting guest, as he sensed his master's enthusiasm for conversation had waned. Time, space, Mountain's sitting guest sat quietly, summoning a mirror before him. Within its reflection stood a woman teaching a young boy. The primordial cosmos exerts lesser restrictions, allowing slight reversals in time and space to revive weaker beings. But the temporal weight of the land of origin is far too immense. Reversing time and resurrecting the dead is impossible here. Mountain's sitting guest sighed. Senior sister, Mountain's sitting guest gazed at the reflected woman. She was preserved in this mirror-like secret treasure, which carried imprints of his memories. The mirror contained a repository of countless recollections, his moments with his senior sister, with his fellow disciples and brothers, and with his friends. He often passed time gazing upon the mirror. "How I long to return to the past." Mountain's sitting guest closed his eyes. "Even just for a fleeting moment afterward, I'd gladly accept death." After delivering his gifts to each of his masters, Luo Feng could sense their joy, but only Mountain's sitting guest appeared indifferent to material offerings despite his visible smile. "Master's regrets, I still cannot resolve them." Luo Feng remained powerless. After presenting his gifts, Luo Feng resumed a peaceful life. In Yulan City, the insect nest master didn't trouble him, and the Dan Tower's business flourished day by day. Luo Feng currently had no plans for hunting expeditions. Instead, he was fully immersed in studying a series of primordial bloodlines. Each comparison of his inner completion against the perfect solution of the primordial bloodline brought him abundant insights. In tranquility like flowing water, another 1,000+ epochs passed unknowingly.